We're not even to March, and the madness has begun. And welcome to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Schuckman, alongside Muddy River Sports Director Chris Dewar. And Chris, we are into the throes of postseason, knee-deep starting tonight.
We are. The Illinois girls are leading us off as we speak.
Regional semifinal games are taking place as we speak. We'll give you some updates as the night goes on.
Yes, we will.
We've already seen some interesting halftime scores from a couple different places. So we've got plenty going on right out of the gate.
It all portends a very wild and crazy first week, and then from there, all the dominoes start falling.
So this week, it's Illinois Girls Regionals. We also have state wrestling tournament in Illinois, which we have a few local wrestlers involved in that. Next week, we get to Illinois Boys Regionals, Missouri Districts for boys and girls, and then Missouri State Wrestling as well. So next week's a really busy week.
It is. The question is, how long does it all last?
That's a great question.
And we ask this every year when we're doing this. It's just, you don't know, and that's part of the fun and the excitement.
Yep.
But man, does the winner take all, loser go home thing loom really large starting now.
It really does. You and I were talking earlier today, going through potential schedules, and I'm trying to map out everywhere that we need to send somebody and make sure we have enough bodies and all those fun things. And it's like we were looking at next week's schedule going, okay, we can make a plan here, but our plan's probably going to get blown up somewhat because teams are going to win that we don't expect to win. Teams are going to lose that we don't expect to lose. And then we have to adjust on the fly, which is the beauty of postseason.
It is, and it's the reason that I can't grow hair, and sometimes there are ulcers involved. But that's what you embrace when you embrace covering this kind of wild action, and it is fun. It is especially fun when you get that dynamic, charismatic team that comes out of somewhere to kind of captivate the entire region.
And we will have that.
And let's face it, we always do.
Yep.
And when one of us rises, everybody kind of goes with, because it'll be the last basketball team from the area.
Yep.
And we'll all kind of follow along.
As we get started on this journey, what's your gut tell you? Who's going to be a couple of the teams that get beyond this week or get beyond next week that have a legitimate shot to still be alive 2+ weeks into their postseason?
I think right now, I think the West Hancock teams look very, very good, both boys and girls at this particular moment. Not to throw the jinx on anybody at this point. I'm still wondering what happens with both Quincy Notre Dame teams.
Yeah.
I mean, there have some things have opened that have made us see both teams, particularly the boys, in light of that Elias loss, that you go, hey, maybe this isn't exactly what we thought we saw. So I don't know on that front.
There is that, but I think there's also the idea that, okay, they're 23-1. They've had one hiccup.
Yeah.
Do we let that one hiccup change the way we view that team? Again, I know it was a 40-point loss, but from the moment that game got going, it got out of hand quick.
It did.
And so it's like, okay, was that one you just wash away and forget about? That really didn't portend what this team's capable of doing? Or is that one that opens some eyes to, ooh, what are they lacking? I tend to be the guy with the more optimistic view of that, like, that game happened, so what? Look at the body of work. And they've beaten good teams. They've beaten teams that they potentially have to beat down the road, or similar teams to what they have to beat down the road. I still have a lot of belief in Quincy Notre Dame.
They as you should, based on the entirety of the resume.
Yep.
I think, though, prior to that game, we were thinking that we were making some plans based on how certain they had looked in dealing with those scenarios. Yeah. And there is a little bit of now faith shaken, just a little bit, in that result. Now, does that mean that wasn't the best thing to happen to them? I can remember in 1998 watching Nauvoo Calusa look absolutely awful at Payson Seymour, and Reno Pinkston going, we can't beat anybody, to 4 weeks later winning a state championship.
True.
So you never know what transpires, but February is such a weird month anyway.
It is.
Think of some of the things we saw on Friday night. I mean,
right.
Monster upset in Pittsfield with Barry Western, 6-win Barry Western winning on the road there. We had a kid
not just winning,
yeah,
smacking the Saukeys around.
Smacking the Saukeys around.
I didn't ever think we'd ever say that.
We had a kid score 46 points in the region, and that wasn't even the highest total individually on the night on Friday night, because there was a kid up in Fort Madison who scored 51 in Nolan Guzman. I mean, we had some bizarre, wild things happen here at the end. So Who knows what's in store?
But I think we're going to be intrigued by a lot of teams as these weeks unfold. I don't think it's going to be, okay, we get to the end of this week and we've got only one team left in the sectionals or something like that. I think we're going to be incredibly busy next week because I think a lot of teams get through because we have some high quality. I mean, think about it. We have 4 girls teams in our area that were state ranked going into this week.
We do.
So you expect those teams, and they're all the highest seeded teams in their own regionals.
They are.
So we kind of expect that to play out and those teams to get through. And then if that happens, what fun it could be, especially if you're looking at Class 1A, where Brown County and Liberty could end up playing each other for a sectional championship.
Very well.
If they both get through.
Very well. Is there a sleeper team out there, somebody that kind of intrigues you right now, boys or girls, Matt Shuckman, that maybe isn't the first team that comes to mind?
I think in the boys' side, it would be Griggsville Perry.
That's a really good one.
They've won 7 in a row going into. Now, they have to play 4 games in 4 nights this week. How much of a toll does that take on them going into regional? And one of those games is against Brown County, a team that they were beaten by last year, I believe, in the regional championship. That kind of made everybody go, okay, Brown County's the team that we're going to look forward to next year because everybody was underclassmen. That team hasn't quite fit the bill this year, that what everybody expected. Now, this time of year, get hot again, a team with that much talent, that much length, that kind of size, they can make a run in 1A.
I think very easily. I'll flip that to the girls' side. There's a team out there that I think we've talked about. I don't know that anybody ranks them as the number 1 team in our area for girls' progress, but Winchester West Central
playing
is
really
out
well.
there playing incredibly well. Got a lot of options. Coach Likes has done a very good job with who they are. And they're homestanding for a regional, which I think helps them because they have a tough draw likely with Triopia in that regional championship game on Thursday.
Those games are being played in Bluffs. Just to remind everybody that the Winchester grade school gym is
no more. Kaput.
No more. Kaput. So they have to go to Bluffs for that regional. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I really like West Hancock's path for the girls.
I do as well.
To where, they go to the Macomb sectional if they win the regional is at home. That helps.
It does.
Quincy Notre Dame girls have a regional at home, which helps them. Now they have to go to the Waterloo sectional,
which is a haul.
How about the QND boys? If they get to the Super, they have to go to Carbondale.
Yeah, that's not fun.
I don't understand some of the bracketing and the positioning, and they make a big deal. The IHSA makes a big deal about limiting travel.
There's no limitation on travel there.
No.
It's the worst trip in America. As a father of a former Saluki, I can say that, yes.
Because there's no
easy way to get
there. There's no direct route. There's no...
Just stop at 17th Street Barbecue. That's the only advice I can offer.
Ding.
It's the only advice I can give you.
So if the Notre Dame boys do get to the Super, are we going to have to arm wrestle for the chance to go to 17th Street Barbecue? Which one of us gets to make that trip?
That's a really good point. Maybe we should both go.
Oh, I think that's... Do we take the
ribs around?
Do we take the Highlight Wrangler or do we take the Shuck Truck?
We might have to take them both. We'll see what the budget allows for at that particular moment,
and we'll see who else is still alive.
That's very true.
That'll determine a lot of things. Because what if the West Hancock boys are still alive?
It's a very good point.
Because here's the deal: they are on opposite sides of the bracket.
They are. Which sets up for, I don't want to dream that far ahead.
Why not? Let's do it. I thought about it. What if somehow, some way, everything falls in place and we have a Quincy Notre Dame versus West Hancock state championship game in Class 2A?
If only there was a sneak preview game this week, which might give us some flavor and taste of
know.
what that might look like.
I wish we could see those two teams go to head at least once in the regular season. Oh, wait a minute.
Yes, yeah.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night, which should be very interesting.
In Warsaw.
In Warsaw, West Hancock coming off a hard scrabble loss to a tremendous Bloomington Central Catholic team.
And again, that's one of the teams in their subsection.
Yes. And that's not a team I think you want to face because they're really tough with their point guard. Keshawn Manny is so good at changing pace.
He looked really good.
Oh my, is he a fun player to watch?
But we also got our play of the year to date from that game.
Not maybe the least traditional buzzer beater I think I've seen in a long time.
True, but quite a buzzer beater. May see it later in the show.
We may. We don't know.
I do know we are going to talk to West Hancock coach Jeff Dahl at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. So get his take on his team heading into this final week of the regular season. I think there's a lot to be excited about with that West Hancock team, not just Cooper Knowles and Hunter Froman. And I think we've talked about them plenty throughout the year.
Yeah.
But I think some of those pieces around them are going to help dictate what this team does.
We've seen a different level Braden Hurt the last couple of weeks, which I think has been big.
Yep.
Jordan Crowley, when he's good, they're a different team. We just saw big moments from Jess Scott.
And to me, he's the one I look at, because what if Cooper Knowles gets in foul trouble? What if teams come up with a defense that pushes Cooper Knowles out of the lane? Do they have a physical presence to help with that? Jess Scott is that guy.
Yeah.
So I think he could be the X factor in the postseason for West Hancock.
I also think that team plays incredibly intelligently around its fouls.
Yes.
Now, I know Hunter Froman fouled out this week. I don't want to say it was a bad call. It was an unfortunate call that got him out of the game at the end.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to win in overtime when you don't have one of your engines.
Yeah. You need, when you go to overtime against a team like that.
Yeah.
And especially now moving forward, if you have to go to overtime in the postseason, you need all your bullets.
You do.
And unfortunately, when you get to overtime in some of these games, you probably don't have all your bullets, especially if you've got a short bench.
No, you don't.
So again, a lot of intrigue coming up. We got a great show planned for you tonight. Like I said, West Hancock coach Jeff Dahl is going to join us. Depending on how some of these regionals play out, we've got some chatter going on with some coaches that on their way home from these regionals. Maybe we can get them on the phone in hour number 2. We're going to play that by ear. Later on this hour, Ben Marth is going to join us here in studio. Ben Marth, who former WGEM sports anchor, now works for Muddy River Sports, doing a great job of covering. He's been doing a lot of things for us, but specifically this year he's been covering the Quincy Notre Dame boys team for us, night in and night out. So we're going to break down the basketball postseason with him, and who knows what else. The mind of Marth is unique.
Do you think we can get him to sing?
We're going to try.
Okay.
Why not?
I mean, I saw him talk about the crazy Houchins days with Hooch
yes.
and how, and again, what a great dude.
Some phenomenal, there's some great memories from that, without a doubt.
Yes.
Miss that guy.
We all do, yes.
Love you, Hooch. But yeah, so a lot to get to tonight. Thank you for joining us. Our numbers, again, thank you to all you guys. We're nearing the end of this. We go through the end of February, so next week will be our last show. But the numbers have been great. The views have been great. We love
appreciate that.
We love it. We love it. We love it. And we hope you guys are enjoying this as much as we are. So make sure you stick around. We got a lot more to get to tonight. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll break down some more of the postseason and look ahead before Ben joins us here at the bottom of the hour. So stick with us. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
Top 5 reasons you should choose
Blessing Raymond College.
small classes, peer tutoring, and lots of personal attention.
Financial aid opportunities, including grants, scholarship, and loan forgiveness.
Successful outcomes, from pass rates to job placement.
Hands-on learning, clinical experience at multiple sites, and no wait list.
The Simulation Center.
Master clinical skills in this state-of-the-art facility.
Be ready for anything.
What are you waiting for?
Enroll with Blessing Raymond College today.
Kitchen and Bath Gallery of Quincy. Trained craftsmen and expert contractors with friendly professional service. Our design team helps with every step of the process, guiding you from a vision to reality with uncompromised service. Trust your home to the local experts. Get a free quote today. From concept to creation, Kitchen and Bath create remarkable spaces and innovative builds. Kitchen and Bath Gallery, your home reimagined.
Are you as excited as we are that football season is back? Then you need to make Jersey's your one-stop destination for mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, and all your local sporting events. So gather your crew and speed over to one of Jersey's 2 locations, 109 East Jefferson and Camp Point, or 115 East Main Street, Mount Sterling. Jersey's Bar and Grill, your hometown sports bar.
We love beer!
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
Well, we had drama on the first real night of postseason play. Obviously, Saturday we had the playing games on the Illinois Regionals. Tonight we have the semifinals for the Illinois Girls Basketball Regionals. By the way, I'm Matt Shuckman, he's Chris Dewar. We have been checking out the ongoing games, the 6 o'clock games, and we have drama and controversy and the whole bit out of the gate in game number 1.
And
right
potentially
away.
doom if there's not some sort of miracle at the back end of this Quincy High girls
So
game.
to give you a quick breakdown, Quincy High led Edwardsville. Quincy High higher seeded team, seeded fourth in the subsectional, playing Edwardsville in the Edwardsville Regional on Edwardsville's home floor. Quincy High had a 41-33 lead going into the fourth quarter.
Yes.
When we went to commercial break, we flipped it back to it, and they said going to overtime. As both teams went to their benches, red light on behind the backboard, the whole bit. And then they sent Edwardsville to the free throw line with, they said, no time on the clock. We're going to have to rewind and watch this at some point. So far, the Edwardsville player made the first free throw.
So they have a 1-point lead.
So they have a 1-point lead. They have put 0.5 seconds on the clock. The Edwardsville player intentionally tried to miss the second free throw. Time runs out, the whole bit. No, she didn't hit the rim. So now Quincy High School gets the chance to inbound it and get a last-second shot off.
Neither of those are great, but the scenario where you get to inbound is a better scenario than having to try to catch the ball and throw it the floor.
There's that, and there's what if you get fouled?
Yes.
There's all kinds of things. So 0.5 seconds left in a regional semifinal game at Edwardsville, Class 4A. And Chloe Nicholson not a chance.
And just like that, Quincy High, the best season that we've seen from the girls since 1998.
28 years.
Yeah, is out.
It's over.
And this was a team that was up by 10 for most of the entirety of this game.
Yep. And Edwardsville the Edwardsville jinx continues.
I feel bad because I invoked that at some point by saying I'm going Friday night to go to see Quincy High.
Or I could be the jinx because I had said earlier that we might try to get Brad Dance on the phone on the way home after they win the regional semifinal. And
I was actually excited to make the Edwardsville trip.
Yeah,
serves me right. Wow,
I did not expect this.
What a start to our postseason.
So we also learned from our guy Shane Holsey, who's on the scene in Havana tonight, that the Liberty girls were down by 6 at halftime to West Prairie.
Which would be a stunning magnitude upset.
Again, it's only Monday night.
Our plans are already ruined for Friday.
Our plans have changed. I did 2 weeks worth of schedules and I've already had to change things. But this is what we expect in the postseason. Maybe not an upset like this, but we expect teams to bow out, teams to advance that we don't see happening. We have to adjust for that. I'm surprised by this, though.
This one hurts because we thought that if nothing else, we wanted to see Quincy High get a chance to take a shot at Alton and redeem themselves from last year.
Right.
And Alton is very good. There's no guarantee Quincy High would have done that.
Number 4 in the state.
For a reason.
And yes, exactly. But wow, I was not expecting. I was expecting a tight game. It's at Edwardsville.
Tough place to play.
Tough place to play. And Edwardsville seems to have this stranglehold on Quincy in all sports.
It does.
It just really does. And wow. Again, welcome to the postseason. The madness has begun and we're not even in March. We got 2 weeks until we get to March.
I'm not used to doing this in real time. Back in my old days, television, I actually had time away from the camera to prepare myself mentally for what I was going to say. We just watched this play out in real time.
We did.
Shuck and I's mouths were agape when they called that foul. And he actually, to his credit, saw the girl walk down. I'm going, what is that? And Chuck said, I think they called a foul.
They did.
And they did.
And we're gonna have to go back and watch the replay at some point to see, because it looked like, I'm gonna rewind it right now and see what happens here at the end as we talk about this live.
Mercy, dude.
So Chloe Nicholson drove, got knocked to the ground, but they didn't call a foul. Edwardsville takes the ball, drives, throws up a runner.
She got it on the rim.
So the official, it looks like the official under the basket. I'm going to rewind just a touch.
Yeah.
So they throw it ahead. Sorry, we're doing this live. It was the official under the basket that called the foul. He saw his arm go up.
Brad Dance is walking. Okay. So
And the
he's
three
trying-
officials went together to discuss it. But if you saw along the baseline, the officials' arms go up.
Okay,
He was
I
calling
did
the
not
foul.
notice
So
that the first time around. So he did call it.
Sorry, I wish I could show you guys what happened, but we're trying to give you the best explanation we can because this is, wow, did not see this happening.
Let's hope this isn't a harbinger for things to come.
Exactly. Again, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for working it out with us in real time.
Again, we have got a lot to talk about tonight as we're still in regular season. On the Missouri side, we got Monroe City playing Highland in makeup games tonight in the CCC.
We do.
I'm interested to see how those games play out. And again, we've talked a lot in recent weeks about the Missouri side of things.
Okay.
That not one single team is telling us, hey, pay attention to us. We're going to go on a run. We know in Class 3, Principio waits in the sectional.
And that is a monster to get through.
Whether boys and girls.
Right. Well, especially, I can't even say especially. Those are two phenomenal teams.
Both ranked number 1 in the state. But the Highland girls are ranked number 3 in the state. New polls came out today.
Yes.
They continue to be number 3 in the state. Do they have? I've seen Principia once in person.
Mm-hmm.
Deja Scott is a Division I talent. She's going to be a Power 4 team. All of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Does the defensive intensity that Highland possesses and the ability for all those guards to do things, you think they have a shot?
I don't ever want to say you don't have a shot.
Right.
What I think I would like about Highland in that circumstance,
Yes.
if they are the team that emerges to face Principia,
And Highland's the number 1 seed in the district,
Yes.
so we think they're going to get through.
if they are that team, because you have Kira Rothweiler
Yes.
with the ball in her hands, Principia's defensive pressure, which they apply with like those little natty guards that just fly everywhere
Yes.
and harass everything. Kira is fast enough to get away from that. The question is, can they be fast? Can they play fast in that facet
Right.
and still distribute the ball the way they need to distribute it to find offense? And then you've got Deja Scott in the middle, which nobody has an answer for. And
Correct.
Highland doesn't have that kind of size. Nobody does.
Highland doesn't have a Jada Brown to go head-to-head with Deja Scott.
No.
Jada Brown did a great job against Deja Scott.
2 years running.
Yes. So I think, but I think Highland can spread the floor.
They can,
Now,
and they can shoot
I
it.
will say, I can't remember the point guard for Principia's name, and forgive me
You
for
were
forgetting
super
it.
high on her. Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
man, when I saw her play against Quincy, I thought she was the best player on the floor.
Well, that's a high praise because
Especially
there are a
with-
lot of great
And
players
Jada
on the
had
floor.
like 26 points that night. Deja had 24. I mean, both of them lived up to the hype.
So you know how good Ryan Gordon is.
Yes.
You've seen her. I saw Centralia's defense just absolutely rip into her last year, the first half of that game. Now, she calmed down. Things got better. They ended up losing by 12 or
Right.
14, I think, last year, if memory serves.
Yeah.
You have to be able to respond to the punch in the mouth.
You do.
And that's going to come for Highland if they get to that point with Principia. I mean, Highland has played a good schedule.
It has.
And they've played
Played some really good teams
Brown
on the Illinois
County,
side.
You know, there are some teams out there that test you for that.
Yeah. And
So-
some point guards to test them.
Exactly.
Right,
I think
to me,
that's,
that's
the
the bigger
critical
part
part
of
of
it.
that. It'll be interesting to see how that shakes down. Is there another Missouri team, boys or girls, that we think, Monroe City now has DeGrave back.
That makes a big
Huge
difference.
difference in who they are. They've got size.
They do.
With Fauner and Holland, which is a problem for a lot of people.
Yep. So I don't think the district is a runaway for Palmyra, which is the number 1 seed.
Right.
Why DeGrave's bounce is
provided
huge.
they play and we don't have 7 kids foul out like we
True.
did the other night.
Yes.
Oh my.
Yeah, but to me, Monroe City's the team that would scare me the most on the Missouri side right now. Hudson Bach, if he gets hot, Pierce White's been playing really well.
He has.
So I think we've got a lot of different components there that could make Palmyra
Mr.
really
McKinney's
good.
back, which makes
Yes.
a world of difference for them as well.
Without a doubt. And they've got some bounce to them. Luke Shepard's tough.
Luke Shepard is very tough.
Rayson Miller's a tough kid. Love the kid.
Brian Ray is also playing, and maybe that was the function of the fouls that night, but he played almost 12 guys
Yeah, see.
against Monroe City. So he is not afraid to go into that bench, and I think he has some confidence in those kids.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the key.
Maybe.
Who knows?
We have another upset. In the Class 1A Havana Regional Semifinals, the highest seeded team in that regional, Liberty, loses to West Prairie 36-32, according to our guy, Shane Holsey.
My goodness.
So we got two teams that we expected to get through at least to Thursday night or Friday night.
Already out.
That are already out.
I mean, the West Prairie Southeastern girls story has been one of the feel-good stories of the year.
It has.
I mean, and that is a credit to that staff.
I haven't looked yet, and I probably will here in a minute, like when we go to our next break, to see if the Camp Point Central girls are giving Brown County a game.
They didn't. I happened to see it. Brown County won by 20, I believe.
But that would have been another one of like, because Lexi Niekamp was back from injury and playing again. It's like, okay, do they upset somebody? Well, obviously not. But yeah, two upsets on night one.
That's why we call it madness, dude.
Exactly, because this Liberty team beat QND 2 weeks ago.
This Liberty team had great bona fides.
Well, let's think about it. They had lost to West Hancock 3 times and Brown County. That was it. And they're done. Wow.
Stunning.
Not what we expected at all.
Not on any front.
So, again, we'll have complete coverage for you guys of these games tomorrow morning at MuddyRiverSports.com. Our guy Shane Holsey is in Havana tonight for both of those games because Men in Unity plays the second game there tonight. We'll get coverage of West Hancock's opener, Brown County's opener. Our guy Scott Bemis is getting us photos from the Brown County game. And then our guy Matt Camp from the Edwardsville Intelligencer is going to hook us up with a coverage of the Quincy High Edwardsville game that came down to a free throw with 0.5 seconds left.
You know, I'm kind of speechless. It's a good thing we've got somebody so loquacious waiting in the wings.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Yes.
We've got him here in studio ready to join us. And I think for the first time in a while,
yes,
we have to reinvigorate the mind of Mark.
Oh, what a wonderful prospect.
I can't wait
to
see where we go with this. Our guy Ben Marth is going to join us right here in the CDS Office Technology studio when we come back. So make sure you stick around. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
They greet us at the door, sit beside us on hard days, and somehow know when we need them most. They're not just pets, they're family. And when you love someone like family, you want the very best for them. That's why during Farm and Home's Love Your Pet sale, you'll find everything they need, from quality food and treats to toys, beds, and more. All at prices you'll love, because taking care of family should feel good. To see all the deals, go to farmandhomesupply.com.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships? It's the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Meet us at the Scoreboard, 8th and York in Quincy.
The home of Quincy's best cheeseburger is now under new ownership. All our time-tested menu items, along with some great new additions, all cooked on our perfectly seasoned grill, are waiting for you.
New wings and new sauces.
Ice cold buckets at some of the best prices in town.
Or even in a frosted mug.
Corner bar comfort for your favorite game on 7 big screens. Or play your own game and win big.
The Scoreboard, 8th and York in Quincy.
Area Distributors is a provider of products and services in the restaurant environment, the school environment, the factory environment, the office environment, and in healthcare settings.
That's the value of Area Distributors, is that we help our customers out by providing them more product as one distributor.
I can tell you, if you call us and have a need, you're going to get timely response.
It's all about passion.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman, kicking it alongside Sports Director Chris Dewar. And we have another upset. This one from Class 2A, the Farmington Regional, second-seeded Chillicothe IVC gets knocked out by Macomb.
Well, there's a good positive upset.
55-33.
Got a chance to watch the Macomb girls the other night. Jordan Hines playing really, really well. They're a tough draw. They're very athletic.
So you might have to go to Farmington on Thursday night.
Well, at least I get to go somewhere, because at the rate we were going, I was afraid I'd have no more girls basketball in Illinois to cover.
Wow,
dude.
so that's 3 upsets on night 1 so far. Now, Brown County did not get upset by Camp Point Central.
No, they did not.
68-34 final for the Hornets.
Just wanted to take a moment, too, to acknowledge the great job Grant Bland has done with the West Prairie Southeastern Co-op. That's an incredible win. New high water mark for victories this season for them, and man, what a little exclamation point on the back end.
Beating Liberty 36-32.
Wow,
unreal. Hey, we'll get to that stuff, more of that here in a few minutes. We got a special guest in studio with us, a guy who's been helping us all season.
Yeah, about as special as they come.
Ben Marth, Muddy River Sports writer.
Special in a lot of ways, gentlemen. It's like 400 degrees in here. What happened?
It's been warm.
Don't let anybody in on the secret, man.
Since we moved into this studio, it's been warm in here.
Yeah.
It's all the hot air that we're spewing every Monday night.
When I opened the show and saw you guys open the show, you guys were both in short sleeves. I'm like, what am I thinking wearing long sleeves now?
I was driving around today with the windows down in the truck.
Yeah,
it was glorious. 67 degrees.
Blasting Van Halen.
Actually, I think at the moment when I was doing that, I believe there was some shine down.
Yep.
There was no Van Halen on the radio today. So, and I didn't hook anything up to play some Van Halen. But now now I got something to do tomorrow. Now you gave me inspiration for tomorrow.
What are your guys' first choice? If the sun is out and the temperatures are good, what are we listening to?
Van Halen.
Yeah?
That would be my go-to immediately. Yeah. However, I've been on a country kick lately.
Modern country?
Yeah, modern country.
Yeah, I like modern country.
Co Wetzel.
Okay.
New person. I still have an artist I have to check out that he told me I need to check out, Tyler Ballgame.
Oh,
which I meant to look it up today. I was doing some music and then I got distracted and forgot to go back to it.
Made an appearance this week on CBS This Morning, so apparently he's blowing up in ways I didn't know. Again, looks a little bit like Jack Black, voice like a god.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of Eric Church.
Yes.
So, what about you?
Zach Bryan, are you into that kind of modern country?
Yeah, it's all right. I tend to, in the truck, put on a local country station.
Yeah.
More than I do rock right now.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
I'm into a lot of modern music, country you mentioned, a lot of like indie modern stuff right now. But if I've got my go-to, it's probably going to be 90s rap. I mean,
yes, I know
some sort of hip hop. I mean, if we're getting close to summertime, it's Summertime by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Maybe something from Tupac, where people look at me like I'm the most odd person on the planet.
Well, that's all right. I was in the home office the other night. I was listening to Coolio.
Yeah.
So
God rest his soul.
Yeah. So a little Gangster's Paradise.
You can't beat that. Maybe some Nelly if I'm around near St. Louis.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. St. Lunatics.
St. Lunatics. There you go. That's right.
All right. Enough about that.
Okay. What's on your mind? Are you excited about postseason?
I am excited about postseason. I was not expecting the carnage so far here today.
No, not at all.
I know you guys weren't as well. To see Quincy, who's had an outstanding season, bow out. To see a Liberty team. Granted, Liberty's young. I mean, I think the future is bright.
Yeah,
Quincy's got everybody coming back next year. I mean, so for the most part.
Yes.
So I mean, you're talking about two teams that we did not expect to lose so early, but certainly some bright futures. Macomb with an upset. I mean, it's been an interesting Monday.
It has. We have a lot of interesting things. A team that you've been closely following all season has a couple of really intriguing games this week. They also have a makeup game on Wednesday night. But Quincy Notre Dame taking on West Hancock on Tuesday night and Keokuk on Friday night.
Yeah.
2 big games, 2 big tests that are going to tell us, is this team ready for the postseason?
I don't think Greg Altmix could have scripted a better last week finish, especially with the games sort of sandwiched in between.
Yeah, the Rushville Industry game was moved to Wednesday night at the pit.
Yeah.
prayers out to the Rushville family,
Amen.
Rushville Industry students, everyone in that community.
Yeah.
Terrible times.
Yeah, but yeah, to have a test tomorrow night against West Hancock, and then of course you bookend that with Keokuk on Friday night, which gives them a whole different dimension of seeing size.
Yeah.
They see size both this week, tomorrow and Friday. I love the way West Hancock plays. I always enjoy this matchup. Last year was a fun game. It was an 8-point game, but it came down to the last couple of minutes, and Hunter Froman really had a fantastic game. He had 19 in that game. They really held Cooper Knowles in check, but it was Grotehouse, and it was some of the other guys that Siegfried had a decent game.
Yeah, he did.
So, we'll see as far as how those pieces are concerned, but obviously tomorrow night, I'm talking with some people, even at church yesterday morning, people were saying, you better get there early.
So they are playing a JV game, correct?
They are, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock JV, 7:30 varsity. Quincy Notre Dame at West Hancock, both state ranked as of last week. How early are you going to get there?
Well, I do book for the JV boys for Notre Dame, so I've got to be there.
Okay.
So yes, so I
you'll
will
get a
be there
parking spot.
early. Yes, and I've informed Coy Dorothy, the Warsaw athletic director, to make sure and save me a spot somewhere.
Yeah.
Because and he messaged me and said, "Are you okay with a spot in the bleachers?" I said, "What? I'm going to have to hang out in the bleachers?" I said, "Give me a spot, will you?" But Coy is a great
will make sure you're
guy,
taken care of.
awesome guy.
Yes.
And but no, looking forward to the game and looking forward to this matchup, looking forward to this week, and then all of a sudden it gets really serious.
Well, so Ben, what's your level of concern post Elias with the Raiders? I mean, I think that was the one and only time this season we've seen them undressed, and it was a rough loss. Do you write it off as a one-off, or are there deeper, broader concerns about that team's ability to take on physicality?
I think you would be remiss to wipe it away as a one-time thing, because then you don't learn from the game. Elias started 6'4" across the front line, and 6'7" young man that's going to play college football at Illinois State. They play a national schedule. I mean, they were fantastic. If they played again, does Notre Dame lose by 40? I doubt it. But what you take away from that contest is Elias's length, their ability at all spots. Yeah. I mean, 1 through 5. So that's a team that Notre Dame won't necessarily probably see again as far as that length is concerned. I would think that a lot of teams are going to play zone defense against Notre Dame. We're seeing it now more and more.
Yep.
And can QND keep its shooting woes? Can it get a little better from beyond the arc? But they've just got so much that they can throw at you. They're starting to develop a few pieces off the bench. They've now got 8 or 9 guys they can go to. Sullivan Walker has been fantastic this season, coming off the bench as the 6th guy.
From day one. He was really good at that game at Moline back in Thanksgiving week when I went up there to see them play. Yeah. He was really good that night, and that's continued throughout the year.
Yeah, and Robbie Reed, remember, didn't play in this game last year against West Hancock. So you add him to this mix in a game that he didn't play a year ago. The linchpin, the guy that's been the difference this year has been Gavin Dolman. Because, remember, the last regional game last year against Williamsville, Gavin Dolman didn't play a minute. Yeah. He is now arguably their most important player. I know Jace Allensworth gets a lot of the headlines, but Gavin Dolman can do so much, and he's now shooting it a little bit from the outside more and more. So
2 years ago, he didn't even have a varsity jersey for most of the year.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And you'll ask some of the younger coaches that coached him, they would have said he was the best shooter out of that group coming into the high school ranks.
So Cooper Knowles, Jackson Clark, back-to-back week. I mean, you're going 6'10". I think we're now legitimately calling Jackson Clark 7 foot.
I believe so. I believe that's what they're saying.
I mean, that is a pairing in the middle that I don't know how you deal with. And we've talked all season long about the value of Quincy Notre Dame's length. How do they play when it's a little negated this week?
That's a good question.
If you have a fantasy team in high school, are those 2 players the top 2 guys that you're going to draft? I mean, Cooper Knowles is fantastic, and he's got an incredible future. His length, obviously, inside, his ability to block shots is just absolutely nothing you see a lot in the high school ranks. And to see, and I got to see, Keokuk earlier this year, and man, they're just so good, big. But again, don't have a lot of depth.
No.
So I'm really looking forward to Tuesday night.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Dewar. Weren't Knowles and Clark 2 of our first 3 picks in our high school fantasy draft?
Oh, you did have one.
We did, yes.
I didn't realize. Where was
I? Allensworth was our other one.
Yes,
we did it on the Mud Brothers podcast right after Christmas. First podcast after Christmas, I believe.
I don't think a real surprise to anybody who's been following, just because that length is so amazing this year. So
okay, Ben. Yeah. To me, one of the biggest concerns with Notre Dame is free throw shooting.
Yeah.
It's been a challenge all year.
Yeah.
Have any of those guys said to you or talked about, when you've talked to some of them, about their struggles at the free throw line and why?
It's really been befuddling because they've got some good shooters onto this team.
Yep.
And you've had guys that have done well in spurts. Bo Eftink is probably their best free throw shooter, a guy that you'd want at the line coming down the stretch. I think it's sort of a mystery, so to speak, because they know how well of a shooting team they can be, and they practice time and time again in practice shooting those shots, which I think it's a valid point. That could be their Achilles heel down to the stretch. But when asked about those kind of things, it really is, hey, we'll figure it out. We're going to practice it. We've got time to figure this out. But again, it's become, and it's gotten better. Midway through the year, it was not good. I think they were 11 for 27 in a game this year from the line.
I believe that's correct.
So yes, that could be a determining factor, no doubt.
Has there been much talk around these guys, Ben, about this vagabond postseason that they have to go on and sort of the unique challenges that all of that travel is going to entail?
Yeah, starting off at North Mac, then it's Pleasant Plains, and then as you guys mentioned, it's Southern Illinois University in Carbondale.
Yep.
So I think they're kind of looking forward to it. It's a lot of teams that they don't typically obviously see. Right. I mean, a lot of these teams that they did play Porta last year in their regional opener. And they're familiar with that program, and talk about an incredible matchup if we get North Mac and Porta in the first regional game opposite QND in either Plains or Pittsfield. Could be a dynamic semifinal game at North Mac. But
what a great night it could be.
I think they're actually thrilled with the way it worked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, you guys know, living on an island in Quincy, they travel all the time, right?
True.
I mean, it's nothing new to the Notre Dame faithful to have to go somewhere.
Okay, you are very familiar with this team. Partially, your son's a sophomore, so his buddies you've seen grow up.
Yeah.
Rowan Stegeman has become one of the most talked about guys over the last week because of a photo where he's doing the Rowan. I guess that's what we're going to call it now, the Rowan.
It's a meme.
You, as well as you know the kid, is that him in a nutshell? Like, that kind of effervescence?
Yes, yeah, he's just a phenomenal young man. I've known him since he was probably 4 or 5 years old. But yes, that would be him in a nutshell. Rowan, I love to death, but he's a bit of an airhead. And so...
I'm sure he meant that lovingly.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I do that. Yes, I say that in the most nice way possible. But yes, that doesn't surprise me that he would be the one that doesn't go for the trophy, but stand and put up that sort of face.
Yeah, that photo has been talking. It was Saturday. I was at Quincy University, and a couple people came up to me and talked about that series of photos.
Yeah,
and especially Rowan's reaction.
Right. Yeah, he's a great kid, and I really enjoy the cohesion of this year's group and the seniors that have brought along some of the younger guys. And I've told my son that you will never ever again play with a talent level of this caliber with the 5 or 6 seniors and 6 seniors that play the majority of minutes. So I've told him to just enjoy it and don't screw up.
A lot of those kids also play baseball.
Yeah.
And the baseball team should be good this year. You know, those kids a year under their belt for some of those guys that are sophomores who played as freshmen and stuff. Have they even thought about baseball yet?
Yeah, they're mad because Oliver Triplett isn't playing baseball. So yeah, they're upset.
Yeah.
Our catcher isn't coming back. No, I kid, but yes. Yeah, of course. They've talked a little bit about that. They've got an incredible incoming freshman class that Rich Pollock has sort of brought along with his system that he has. And so, yes, there's some talk about some excitement. Pitching will be a major Achilles heel for that team with the loss of Abram Wewell, with Brady Laird not being able to pitch this year. Some other things that are going on. So not to get too far ahead, but yeah, they're looking forward to it. But
I just know if they were like, okay, we got to keep it out of our minds until basketball's over.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think especially the older guys.
Yeah.
Younger guys are a little bit more helter-skelter when it comes to their mind. But yes, I think that they're really just enjoying this ride. It's been fun, you know. It's been a fun team to watch, and tomorrow night is going to be fun. Friday night's going to be fun, and so on and so forth.
You've been in the pit around the girls as well a lot. I know they had sort of a wonky, you know, were they there, were they not there, sort of last couple of weeks into the season. Just kind of your gut level take on Eric Orn's team and kind of where you think they are going into the regional, Ben?
It's a great question because, you know, if you had asked me this 2 weeks ago, or even more than that, I probably would have been a little bit on the skeptical side of how far they could go in 3A. But man, they've had a good last week or two. I mean, winning at Helias, that's a good win against a quality program. They beat West Hancock on the road on Friday night. They've beaten Brown County. They've taken out an undefeated Clopton. You just go on and on their style. And I bet Eric Warren would have told you a couple of weeks ago, I'm not sure. Because they didn't have that killer instinct that they've.
Well, you saw the Liberty game. Yeah, I mean, it was sort of disconcerting at that point, and they pulled it back together very nicely. That takes some doing in this business.
Yeah, and their schedule is so brutal that if you can just, get through it and then get a chance to host, and then who knows,
That's a big deal.
it is a big deal. And who knows, Civic Memorial, if they get a Civic Memorial Q&D Regional Championship a week from Thursday, this Thursday, will be, I think, outstanding.
I think so too. Hey, you mind sticking around for a little bit more?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. Ben's going to stick around. We'll talk more about, who knows, the mind of Marth, maybe. So stick around. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
When you trust your healthcare needs to MDH, you'll receive the highest quality, compassionate care from our nationally accredited medical departments and award-winning staff. We are here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, providing exceptional care right here in Macomb. We also accept Aetna, HealthLink, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and most other insurance plans for your convenience. McDonough District Hospital, your regional healthcare partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time.
Does the thought of retirement overwhelm you? You are not alone. For over 25 years, Benson Financial Group has helped people just like you craft a plan to retire with purpose. Call us today in Quincy and Hannibal.
For 135 years, State Street Bank has stood as a pillar of trust and stability in Quincy, Illinois. For generations, families have trusted State Street Bank to be part of their biggest moments. We look forward to the future with gratitude and excitement. Thank you for being part of our journey. State Street Bank, 135 years of banking you can trust.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
Kitchen and Bath Gallery of Quincy. Trained craftsmen and expert contractors with friendly professional service. Our design team helps with every step of the process, guiding you from a vision to reality with uncompromised service. Trust your home to the local experts. Get a free quote today. From concept to creation, Kitchen and Bath create remarkable spaces and innovative builds. Kitchen and Bath Gallery, your home reimagined.
Not sure you're ready for retirement? With over 25 years of experience, the team at Benson Financial Group will meet you right where you are and craft a plan that's right for you. Call us today in Quincy and Hannibal.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
Welcome back. I'm Matt Schuckman, he's Chris Dewar, and he's Ben Marth. Hey, by the way, I saw you tweet out something the other day about our guy Hooch.
Yeah, my man.
It's been
our
a while.
man.
That was a great, wonderful memories.
There's a few things good about Facebook, not very many.
Yeah.
Birthdays being one of them. When it's your birthday, you hear from a lot of good people, and then second are memories. Yeah. And that popped up in my memories from Houchins. And that was a serious thing. It seemed like a joke from Houchins, but he was ready to serenade anybody who walked by.
Well, he can sing. He can sing. I still remember I was in Columbia visiting some friends. We went to the bar we frequented when I lived there, a place called Skip's Place.
Yeah.
I think at the time after I had moved back here, it changed names, okay? So we're in Skip's Place, and in comes Houchins and his cousin who lived in Columbia. And Houchins, they had karaoke that night. So he sang.
Wow.
And he sang Joe Diffie's "She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy," to which Houchins always changed the words.
Yeah.
To "She Thinks My Wheelchair's Sexy." And he had the entire place eating out of the palm of his hand.
Yeah.
During that entire time.
Right. That was Josh. I mean, in a nutshell, that story describes him very, very well. Yes. That popped up on my memories. I'm like, man, Miss those times. Those are fun times.
It was such a salient part of the culture. You know, people would get up and you would do the Mind of Marth, and it was never about sports. It was always about some random place that you two guys would go. I mean, you know the value of chemistry in this business, Ben. You don't find that very often, ever.
You're exactly right. I mean, and I always enjoyed crossing paths with you. We'd have good conversations on the baselines of games and all your guys and gals and stuff like that. But yeah, that's fun about this community, right? And still is. I mean, I can still go up to some of the folks that cover things for both television and some of the radio stations here and have conversations. And, you know, the coverage here is outstanding, but you're right, Chris. I mean, you develop such incredible relationships in the media from not even Quincy. I mean, you've expanded your relationships well 2, 3, 4, 5 hours away from here with sharing video and things like that. So yeah, it's certainly a good part of it.
I know you're extremely happy in what you're doing professionally, personally, and all those things. Do you miss the TV business?
I miss the people. I don't miss the job. No, I mean, Chris will attest to that. I mean,
amen.
I felt I worked hard, and then you had the man to my left who took it to a whole new level in a very good way in covering area athletes and teams. But I don't miss the 2 a.m. bedtimes and then turning around and waking up at 7 a.m. The next morning and try and make sure you're on top of things. And then you're trying to raise kids. I mean, I have 3 kids. I'm trying to raise children. You're missing a lot of dinner times, a lot of bedtimes, all that kind of stuff. No, I don't miss the job, but I miss seeing you guys, and I miss the coaches and the athletes. That's why I love these shootouts. The Muddy River Pizza Ranch Sport, the Superfan was awesome because you see everybody, the rumble on the river that, you guys were part of, that's huge.
I felt like I didn't do a lot of work that day at times. I mean, again, by the time
I thought you were working your tail off. Maybe you snowed me.
But no, well, look at what we put on the website. We did a lot of work.
We did a lot of work.
But what I meant by that was the conversations going on while I'm shooting photos or while I'm between games and stuff it didn't feel like work that whole day. You know what I mean? It made it fun. It made the day go by fast. Now, by the end of it, we were both exhausted. And I know we both took like multiple naps on that Sunday.
Right.
But you're right. You catch up with people you maybe don't see that often during the season, and you get to sit and have a 5-10 minute conversation with them, even if it's while a game's going on.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We're so lucky to have you two still in this business. I don't think we say that enough, how great you guys are, talented, how hard you guys work. It's an incredible privilege to have two guys like you guys. You're friends of mine. I am buttering you up here a little bit, but we are lucky to have you two here.
He's sucking up.
I mean, you did threaten to take the West Hancock Q&D game away.
I thought I'd been really generous letting him cover the #1 team in the state for most of the season.
You nearly ran him out of here in the commercial break. He was ready to slap you and walk out the door. I saw it.
The resignation papers had been written up.
That's the fun part
I'm
of
not
this.
usually the peacekeeper. This was
I would not do that to him.
I know you would.
You're lucky you're in between us.
Oh, God.
Could be some haymakers.
Yeah. Again, part of the fun we have here at Muddy River, part of the growth we've had here is because of guys like that. We put a good team together and everybody contributes.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun. I admire you guys for staying in the industry as long as you have. It is such a hard industry, and I'm texting Shuckman at midnight and he's responding. I'm like, goodness gracious, you guys work in such length.
But you came out of this on the back end, Ben, with the most important win of all, 3 tremendous kids. Yeah. And, as we watched
2. The third one, I'm not so sure about.
Coming on Caden.
I'm still debating the validity of that. Whether Caden makes me laugh.
There's
every
a reason why
his
nickname was Lucifer growing up.
Yes, there's no question about it. See, here's the deal with Ben's kids, if anybody needs to know. Jack always, and still to this day, calls me Mr. Shuckman.
Yeah.
Lily, I think, called me Mr. Shuckman, or she just giggled when she said hi.
Yeah.
Caden walks in. What's up, Shuck? Totally different than your first 2.
He is a different personality.
But you know what? Every time I see him in the gym, whether it's at a game or something, first person to come over and give me a fist bump is Caden Marth.
Yeah, we will.
Great kid. Great kid. For as much grief as I give him, great kid.
When you get to the third one, I mean, it better, you
I
had 2.
didn't make it that far. I stopped at 2.
That was smart. When you're having to play zone defense, you better make sure that they at least have some manners to them. So I think we'll keep him. Yeah, he's a good young man. Works hard as the other two did, and pretty cool. And it's pretty cool to see you as a grandfather and seeing this start all over again.
Isn't it nice to have them close?
Yeah.
I mean, that is such a fun job. And as you said, I mean, this job dragged you and I all over the planet, made us work all over these long hours. And when you come out on the back end of this with great kids, it makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, no doubt. It's been fun. I don't want it to end, right? Just a couple more years left of that, which has been a long, lengthy time. So
yeah, you got lots of years left. You got lots of things to look forward to, all three of them.
I won't know what to do,
I'll find plenty for you to do.
Okay.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Sucked back in. I guess I should let my full-time employer know.
Just jump in the truck with me and we'll just go wherever the road takes us. How's that sound?
I'm still waiting for my first invite to the truck. Yes.
That's right. You've never been on the
I haven't been on the truck. No, I've never been on the truck. I've been waiting. I've been waiting.
We'll make it happen.
Okay.
We'll make it happen. Caden will be mad at you getting on there before him, but that's all right.
Well, hey, you got to deservedly get on that truck. It just doesn't happen.
He's gonna earn it before all's said and done. I got a good feeling about it.
I hope so. I hope he does.
So
we'll see.
Maybe even this spring.
You never know.
You never know.
You just
see
never
what happens.
know. Yeah.
Maybe this postseason.
Right.
Maybe he comes off the bench and hits the shot of the century.
Oh, boy.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll see about that.
Awesome.
Is there any other storyline, Ben, that you're looking forward to? I know we talked a lot about Quincy Notre Dame because you're around, but I mean, I know your antenna are always up and you're always so super sharp about this. Anything kind of captivate you kind of outside of that purview that you've kind of followed and just kind of, gotten kind of addicted to watching or seeing play out this winter?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I mean, the Copeland young man from West Prairie that I haven't been able to see, I would love to go get a chance to watch him play. I still enjoy the Brown County boys. I know they've been kind of up and down. I think they could make some noise in 1A. Always love being around Jeremy Anderson up in Macomb.
Oh, he's so good, yes.
The greatest guy. Just love being around him and his program. And just really the as you guys mentioned, the reinvigoration of just the depth of girls basketball right now in the tri-state area with so many teams that could make a run. I know we had a difficult night tonight for the tri-states, and in over on the Missouri side, there's a lot to like. I know there's going to be some difficulties for some teams once they get further into the postseason. Right. But being around Brock Idris and the Monroe City team a week or two ago, always enjoy being around his squad. And I know what Brian Ray's done at Palmyra. I mean, you can go on and see. I think it's interesting that on the boys' side, on the Illinois side, that Notre Dame and West Hancock go in opposite directions.
Yeah.
Just to see how far those teams, could go.
I know it's a dream scenario, and I know I'm being selfish. I want West Hancock QND for a state title.
I mean, that would be,
wouldn't that just be an epic?
All of the things that have ever happened, we've only ever had that once with the Carthage versus Lamar Northwestern state championship game way back in the day in 2000.
Yeah.
So
we deserve it.
We do. We've paid our penance.
And the guy that's going to join us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline when you step out, is one of the guys that could make that happen. West Hancock coach Jeff Dahl's going to join us. So
there you go.
There we go.
Good.
Hey, thank you for taking the time to come in.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for all your hard work this year. It's been a blast. I know we got a lot still to go.
Yeah.
And I know you're excited about the games you get to cover moving forward for us, but we couldn't do all this without the entire team. And you're a significant part of it. So thank you.
I appreciate that. I deserve a raise. I will go tell Bob immediately following this interview that I deserve to get a raise, especially how I was treated in between breaks.
I'll stand up for you. If you need to go to HR, I'm here.
I appreciate that.
I'm the director of HR, so.
Oh,
boy, we're all in trouble. I cannot imagine that.
Wouldn't that be scary?
Who made that decision?
No one. I just did. So
cool.
It's like saying Josh Houchins would be the director of HR. That wouldn't last more than a day.
No, that would not have gone good. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's Ben Marth. Make sure you read his stuff at MuddyRiverSports.com. And we're going to take a break. We're going to talk more about boys basketball when we come back. Jeff Dahl will be joining us on the opposite side of the break. So stick around. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Area Distributors is a provider of products and services in the restaurant environment, the school environment, the factory environment, the office environment, and in healthcare settings.
That's the value of Area Distributors, is that we help our customers out by providing them more product as one distributor.
I can tell you, if you call us and have a need, you're going to get timely response.
It's all about passion.
They greet us at the door, sit beside us on hard days, and somehow know when we need them most. They're not just pets, they're family. And when you love someone like family, you want the very best for them. That's why during Farm and Home's Love Your Pet sale, you'll find everything they need, from quality food and treats to toys, beds, and more. All at prices you'll love, because taking care of family should feel good. To see all the deals, go to farmandhomesupply.com.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
My philosophy in pediatrics is definitely prevention, early intervention, and advocacy. Being an advocate for my patients is one of the main reasons why I got into pediatrics in the first place. I like working close with families and being able to empower moms, especially first-time moms, or empower any caregiver. MDH Peds gives that family-centered care. My name is Leilani Segura, and I am a pediatrician at McDonough Districts Hospital.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. We got chatting with our next guest during the commercial break and forgot to put him on hold. We apologize for that.
That was my fault. I got chatty.
Hey, it happens. and Jeff Dahl, West Hancock boys basketball coach, we could talk about all your games at length, couldn't we?
Oh yeah, we could. We've had such a tough schedule this year, and I'm just really proud of my guys for we've lost some games. I really think we should only have 2 losses, but as a coach, you always think that. But I'm proud of them where we're sitting now at 6, because it's been a really grinding, tough schedule.
We're talking with West Hancock coach Jeff Dahl on the Hess Auto Agency hotline. Coach, we really appreciate you joining us ahead of a really interesting week, especially tomorrow night, where you guys go head-to-head with Quincy Notre Dame at Warsaw. How much are your guys looking forward to this game?
I mean, we are really looking forward to it. I mean, anytime you have a team that's been ranked number 1 for almost a whole year, and they had one slip up and they dropped down, and so, but they're still a number 1 team in 2A, it looks like. So, it's a great opportunity for us to show that we've gotten, better throughout the year, and we deserve to be up there in that conversation. It's one of those games that, just like last Saturday, we test ourselves and we get better. And now is the time to see where we are right now. And that's an opportunity that, you can't always, it has a little bit to it because it's a conference championship. So there's some other stuff in there, but mainly it's about us getting better and preparing ourselves to handle this type of game as we go into the playoffs.
I don't have to remind you of this, Jeff, but I'll remind our listeners and our viewers. 2 years ago, Jace Allensworth had one of the best shooting nights against you in that gym I can ever remember. From the sake of a defensive challenge, when he's going, he's tough. Your guys have responded to about every defensive challenge yet this year. How much is that still in the back of their minds, and how much is there just a little bit of wanting revenge maybe for that for your guys?
I think he just I don't know what he wants to play so good against us a little bit. I see him turn up about 3 notches when he comes to play us. So it's but he's a great kid, a great player. he, just getting to know him through the years, I really appreciate how hard he plays and how good of a kid he really is. And you know what? Like, we're going to do our best to stop him. I'm not going to say we will, but we're going to do our darndest, and we will really, they're a really good group and a hard group to guard this year because they can do so many things. So, it's like, who do you stop and maybe give somebody else something? Like, it's really a tough matchup, going into a game like that.
You're blessed with an incredible shot blocker in the middle in Cooper Knowles, but it's your other guys that have to play really well defensively to elevate you guys. How well have those guys adapted to their roles? They got some of your guards, some of your other forwards to make you guys successful.
Yeah, I think Braden Hurt's really a good story for us this year. I think he's gotten better throughout the whole year. I mean, lately he's had several games with about 8 assists, and he guards the best guard. Like, he guarded Alston at Second Baptist. That's the number 2 point guard in the nation. Then he guarded Manny the other night. Like, he has tough assignments, and he's risen to it. Like, he's became a really good basketball player throughout this year, and I really appreciate that he's put in that time and figured out how to help run a team that has 2 really good players on it that should get all the shots, but still manage, to get his stuff, but still be happy with his role of working hard on defense. And I also think Jordan Crowley's had some really good defensive games for us too. He's kind of an unsung hero in some games. When he's really playing well, we're pretty good. And so tomorrow night, he'll be a big key for us, how he comes out of the gate and plays for us, both defensively, rebounding, and offensively.
You touched on it, Jeff, because I think you knew this team had a chance to be super good this year, and you really ramped up the schedule from, starting at the Kevin Brown through this past weekend with a really good Bloomington Central Catholic squad. And you touched on Mr. Manny. I thought he was as good a pace of play point guard as we've seen everywhere. The payoff for all that is now, is it not, that you finally go into a postseason having seen everything?
Yes, and we played against some really good coaches. Yeah. And every time we play against a good coach, they find something that they think they have an advantage in, and then we have to adjust and get better at that. So that's part of that process, not just good teams and players. It's like the good coaches you can play against really make you better because they want to win, and they are really – I mean, we've been ranked, on and off for the last 2 years, pretty high level, and everybody wants to beat you because people talk about you and you have a two Division I guys on your team, and it's like you've got a target on you. So the coaches want to prove like, hey, we can beat these dudes with 2 Division I guys, and so we're getting everybody's best game. But what it's done for us is taught us how to handle adversity, how to handle different changes that we might have seen like 10 or 12 different defenses this year, just trying to get to places where they stop us. And so it's been a challenge for us as coaches to learn how to handle those things too. So I think all in all, it's been that part is just so valuable.
Jeff, how much different of a coach are you? When you look back, you led the same Hancock County school district to a state title almost 30 years ago, and now you're back with another fantastic team. How much different of a coach are you 30 years apart?
Man, I'm way different coach now than I was then. First of all, I was a lot harder on those guys than I am on these guys. And I mean, times have changed a little bit. Like, I don't know. I think kids are kids, and I think they still can handle coaching. Now it's more of having a relationship first and then coaching them. Before it was just like the coach said this, so you do it. So I think that's changed a little bit, but kids are still kids. And the better relationship you have with them, the better they'll play for you. But I've changed my philosophies a lot. Like, before we were just running 4 out, 1 in, and we did a lot of screening and stuff. Now we had screening and more dribble drive stuff and shooting more threes, which I would have loved to have this offense with Heisler and Belt, in Weir. Like, I think we would have, I don't know how many points we would have actually scored because we would just shot way more threes than we did. But but in the same token, I was just thinking you look at the heritage of basketball in our small area with Hamilton. My first year, I moved here from Texas. Hamilton was in the Final Four with Meister and that crew. And then, then you have us, and then you have Nauvoo. So all 3 of our schools know what it takes to get there. So it's kind of a really unique situation and a real positive one for coaches, because I think our administration knows how to help us get there. Our parents that have been through it know how to get there. So I think it's really a cool thing to have happen, I think, to just the way this kind of works out.
Jeff, one thing that doesn't get mentioned enough, and I think it's important in the construct of who you are, is these are really good kids. You don't have one bad apple in the lot away from the court. They got to be fun to be around, and you're going to go through the doldrums of a season. When you've got guys who kind of just come to the gym positive and wanting to play, that has to aid the process, I would think.
It does, and that's why I'm still coaching, because I like these kids. They're easy to manage. I can tell them something and they do it. Like, you know, some schools have trouble getting kids to the weight room. Like we lift at 6:30 in the morning in the spring and the fall, and they show up all the way from Basco. Their parents will drive them there to get them to lifting in the morning. So that part of it is just makes coaching more fun, because you have kids there that want to be there, and it's sort of like they want to like keep it going. Like that's kind of like the younger kids come in and they want to keep the success going. And ever since, I mean, Reno had so much success here too, and like so it just keeps growing and growing. Kind of, it's really a nice. It's really like expectations are high, but not so high that kids can't achieve it. So it feels real.
Well, your team's having a ton of success. The West Hancock girls are having a ton of success. Is there just a championship vibe around the entire school district, all the schools and all the programs, that just makes everybody go, look, we're all going to win this year?
I think so. And I think it's cool watching kids. Some schools, you know, like there's no crossover between the boys and girls stuff. It's really cool to watch the girls succeed and our boys supporting them, and then the girls at our game supporting us. Like that's just really a fun thing, and it makes a community out of it. And I really like that about our schools, because even though we're in different schools, we still support each other. I mean, I see JJ at my games and Jeff Sisk at my games. Like it's really a supportive culture, and I think it's kind of makes it more exciting.
From your standpoint, and I'm going to put this on you now, because I thought when I watched you in the second half of that Brown County game, I could see it. I could see the vision. I thought that was maybe the best half of basketball you played all season, and it got me excited about what you can do in the postseason. When, for you, Jeff, did you realize how good this group can be when they're at max Q at their very best?
Well, when we are at our best, like I have two really unique players that bring problems that you can't really plan for, you can't practice for, because Cooper's unique. He's not a back-to-your basket post. He's a slasher. He's a dunker. He's a shot blocker. Like he can move, and he doesn't get tired like post guys do. So he's really hard to practice for. So you have him, and then you put Hunter in there when he's on his game and Coop's on his game, and everybody else is filling their roles. Like when I see that picture of mine, I think, okay, you got to be really good to beat us. Like you have, when we're in that mode, you have to be really good to beat us. Like we can have, you know, but we're not super deep. So we got to keep our guys in and not get in foul trouble, and, you know, not get silly fouls. So, but when we're all there, in my mind, I'm like, okay, if we're all there in the right spots and our mentality is like, let's go. We're a hard out. It's nobody. I haven't hit, besides one team that would beat us by 30 in Washington. When they're working together, there's not anybody that's really stopped those two guys in our team while they're working together.
And I would totally agree with that. When we were at the Muddy River Sports Pizza Ranch Superfan Shootout, I had a number of people come up and talk to me about Cooper. And specifically, they went, well, we know he's 6'10", but we didn't realize how athletic he was or how much of a pogo stick he was. Yeah. His ability to get off the floor, it just makes him more dynamic, doesn't it?
It does. And many people don't know this, but his standing vertical is 30 inches. They measured it at one of the schools he went to work. I mean, that's 6'10" with a standing 30-inch vertical. And he gets off the floor quick. He doesn't have to have a big gather. He just pops up. And that's rare, really, really rare.
I've seen you call a lot of games, Jeff Dahl. I've seen you do a lot of things. I never have seen you run an end of ball game play like I saw in Riverton. For Cooper, the touchdown Hail Mary catch that he made to force overtime. Break that down for us, because I think we might see that a little later in this show as well as part of one of our special moments. But I mean, if he ends up being your player of the year, that's the moment that I think a lot of people will point to and go, there's Cooper Knowles at his most special.
Yeah, and that's so before that play, actually Jamie, my assistants draw plays for me and they end up working, so I got to listen to them, right?
Don't tell Jamie
Froman
that.
in state tournament. Yeah. So Jamie had this play drawn up. It was similar to one we ran in Washington and got it, when Hunter had a wide open shot and got pushed in the back. Like that was same type of play, but it was open. Because we were just worried about the foul, and Hunter was so far in front of his guy that he would have got a layup in regulation if they went to call the timeout, because it was there. And so they saw it, and then I told Jamie, I said, no, let's just fake it and throw it straight to Cooper so he can score it. And there's a lot that goes into that play, that the timing of it, the pass of it, they have, and we've never ran it like that before. So there's times you have to trust the skill of your players to get it done. And I knew if Cooper could get his hands on it, that we'd be fine, because his hands are absolutely phenomenal. And you said something about that, Chris, that block he had the first play of the game where he cupped it.
Yes.
That's just crazy. Who does that except Charles Barkley or somebody? And so that whole thing, just knowing what he can do, and you just got to get it in his hands, and you're going to have something good's going to happen.
And a lot of the credit goes to Cooper on that play, but the pass, to me, that was as special as anything, because that pass was phenomenal.
Yeah, from Braden.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. It's between two of their players that sandwich Coop, because they decided to double team him so he couldn't catch that pass at half court. Well, they were one on each side of him, and I have no doubt they were probably hanging on him too. But it was absolutely I don't know if you could have thrown a better pass actually than he actually did. I mean, it was on the money.
It was spectacular stuff, Jeff. What job well done on that front.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Hey, Coach, we really appreciate you joining us tonight. I know you got a big game tomorrow night and a lot to look forward to with postseason beginning next week. So thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your night to chat with us.
Hey, it is always great talking to you guys. Call me anytime.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. We'll see you this week.
Yeah, I bet we'll see you. Okay. Hopefully tomorrow I'll see one of you.
You'll see us there. No doubt about it.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Coach. That was West Hancock coach Jeff Dahl joining us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline. Again, big game tomorrow night, Quincy Notre Dame against West Hancock. I love the fact that he's as enjoying this as much as you would hope a coach who's been around so long and been through so many things. He's just loving every minute of it.
Well, he's different than he was back in 1997.
We all are.
Well, but he specifically walked up to me at Keokuk during the girls' game, and without even talking about his team, the first comment was, "It's so much fun to be able to do this in Iowa. Go boys, girls with the doubleheader." And I love watching the girls play. And that just tells you that Jeff is soaking in the moments. So
which
good
is
for
great.
him.
And his team's providing a lot of moments.
They are that.
The West Hancock girls are providing a lot of moments. And maybe we'll get a score update on what they're doing here before we get out of here tonight. But we are going to take a break. We'll give you some score updates when we come back. And then we got some special things still coming. Best highlight wrangled up this week.
We may have teased it already.
We may have. Shuck 'em up still to come. Ooh. So a lot to get to before we say goodnight. So make sure you stick around. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships? It's the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary healthcare, from state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
Meet us at the Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
The home of Quincy's best cheeseburger is now under new ownership. All our time-tested menu items, along with some great new additions, all cooked on our perfectly seasoned grill, are waiting for you.
New wings and new sauces.
Ice cold buckets, some of the best prices in town.
Or even in a frosted mug.
Corner bar comfort for your favorite game on 7 big screens. Or play your own game and win big.
The Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
For 135 years, State Street Bank has stood as a pillar of trust and stability in Quincy, Illinois. For generations, families have trusted State Street Bank to be part of their biggest moments. We look forward to the future with gratitude and excitement. Thank you for being part of our journey. State Street Bank, 135 years of banking you can trust.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
It's been a fun and interesting Monday night, Chris Dewar. You do have a score update for us from the later games, the second semifinals that are taking place tonight.
The West Hancock girls leading at the half, 35-9 in their regional semifinal.
I don't think they'll have any issues cruising into the Thursday's championship game.
Once again, that defense that Jerry Jerome employs. I know Jeff Sisk has a huge hand in that, as we heard Jeff Dole say earlier.
Yep.
At a very high level right now.
So we do have some updates from tonight.
Okay.
Already we'll go back to those 6 o'clock games. So tonight are the regional semifinals for Illinois girls basketball for most of them. We got some tomorrow night too. Quincy Notre Dame plays in the 3A regionals tomorrow night.
Yes.
Winchester West Central plays in the 1A
at Bluffs. As you pointed out, yes.
So those are tomorrow night, and we'll have coverage of that stuff tomorrow night. Tonight so far though, the Quincy High School girls basketball team seated 4th in the subsectional, taking on an Edwardsville team that was 1 game below 500 going into the postseason, but on its home floor, lost 50-49.
Very controversial ending to this one.
Yes.
About a foul that probably. I'm not saying, just in the flow of basketball, you don't call a foul like that decides a game at the end unless it's really severe.
Well, and we're watching on YouTube. It was with the highlights we were watching and kind of the game we were seeing. And we're not close enough on YouTube. We're not close enough to the floor, nor was the video close enough to the floor to give us a really good idea. But it looked like there could have been a foul or no foul call at one end. Chloe Nicholson went in to take a chance. Couldn't tell if the block was clean, if she got some body, whatever. It was hard to tell.
It was because there was a massive body.
So no call. There was no call there. Edwardsville goes down to the other end of the floor. Girl drives the baseline. I think it was Journey Thompson, I think's her last name. Goes up toward 2 QHS defenders, misses the shot. They call a foul. It was a delayed call on the foul.
Mm-hmm.
So that was an interesting part of this. That and again, we saw when we went back and watched the replay, the baseline official who was in the corner during the time threw his arm up.
Yes, he did.
Okay, so you had to notice that. You know, I could see where very few people, but the problem was all 3 officials came together to discuss it.
Yeah.
And it left that impression that there was no foul call. Well, then they sent the girl to the free throw line with no one else on the line. She made the free throw, started to celebrate, and then they were like, wait a minute, no, there's still 0.5 of a second left. Put everybody out on the floor. She goes and tries to intentionally miss the free throw to let time run out. Doesn't hit rim.
No.
So now Quincy High School gets to inbound the ball. nothing came of it. But a crazy, controversial, questionable ending is what, and again, we're taking it from what we're seeing from the Quincy broadcast.
And I had no problem with no call on Chloe Nicholson at the other end.
And I think it would have been a good no call on the other end. And
because
you don't
want a game one in that situation like that. You let the kids play it out as best you can. And clearly at one end of the floor that happened. I can't speak to what the other end of the floor was.
We weren't there.
It didn't seem to jibe.
No. So I'll be anxious to get the report from our reporter on site at Matt Camp of the Edwardsville Intelligencer, who does a phenomenal job for us.
Yes.
Very fair, so it's not like this is going to be slanted.
No.
He's going to do his due diligence to get both sides of the story. I'm anxious to hear all about it, read what he has to say, and see his pictures.
And at that point, it's not going to matter because it's all just opinion moving forward.
Yeah.
The end result is the end result. Nobody's reversing anything.
Yeah, there's no going back and changing
the season is over.
There's no appeal process.
As celebratory as that may be for Edwardsville and as tragic as it is for Quincy High, that's life and sports.
But we've had two other games, two other upsets involving area teams tonight. The Liberty girls, top-seeded team in its regional, lost to West Prairie 36-32.
Biggest stunner, I think, anywhere. And again,
so far of everything we've seen.
Yes, to this point, and again, credit to Grant Bland and his girls who have really grown. You remember that program has been in the doldrums for a long time.
Just think how excited they were that they got to 10 wins earlier this season.
Hit double digits, and it was a cause for celebration. I can't imagine the celebration now moving forward in beautiful Colchester tonight.
And then in Class 2A at the Farmington Regional, second-seeded Chillicothe IVC goes down. Macomb takes out the Grey Ghosts 55-33.
I really like the way Macomb's girls have been playing. And I think you and I even had that conversation and wrote about it in Doers. I thought if there was a sleeper team, Macomb has enough with its pieces to be a hard out.
Well, Sophie Wilson is a gritty senior guard that gives them good leadership. Reese Watson's made some big shots throughout the year. The girl,
Jordan Hines.
Thank you. I couldn't think of her first name.
So athletic.
Yes, she is.
Yes, and
I'm sorry, Miss Hines. I didn't mean to forget your first name.
When you have a wing like that, it puts pressure on people, and she does a very good job of that.
Yeah. So again, I'm not totally surprised. I think Justin Elby's done a great job building that team throughout the year.
That's a great point because that was one that we've seen them get better and better.
Yeah.
There's a lot of credit to him for that as well.
We do know that Brown County advanced as expected. Camp Point Central, which came on late in the year with a very young team, a team that had battled injury and illness, and fought its way to this point. Again, Brown County is really special.
Yeah.
There's a reason they're ranked number 2 in the state heading into the postseason. 68-34 victory over Camp Point Central in the regional semifinals.
And they're a lot like the Quincy Notre Dame boys. They're very long at every position. And Central is not.
Right. So I'm curious to see how far Brown County can go because they seem their interior game doesn't stand out as far as, okay, that's the player who's going to carry them. But when you put a Maggie Henry and Alina Anderson in that front court and the way they fight, I think that front court's pretty special.
They kind of share the same issue that's plaguing the boys, is that we've not seen it all put together yet, which is both exciting.
Yeah.
For Coach Phelps and company, but also a little daunting and frustrating because we know there's a better version of Brown County out there, and that version could do some serious damage.
Well, and when you've got a scorer like Kenzie Cassing and a Hope Ingram who has been really good her first 2 years there and just continues to get better. I think this has been the best of her 3 years.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the things she does. Jamie Lohr is a great piece to that puzzle.
Oh, she is. She's a vital piece to that puzzle.
Without a doubt. So, and they got some players that come off the bench.
Yeah.
The Blakely girl, I think, gives a good spell for the people in the front court. Again,
Dave's not afraid to play girls.
No, he's not. And this team is set up to win.
They are, and again, if you look at them like you would look at if you're a college basketball fan, you look at BYU. You have the AJ DeBonsa in Kenzie Cassing that lets you dream very big.
I'm glad you used BYU as an example.
I know you would slap me if I used the other one.
I literally would.
As you
on
should.
air,
as you should.
I would. It would not stop me,
and I would deserve it.
Anyway, there's a quick recap of what's going on tonight. We'll have full stories, full videos coming up tomorrow morning. We'll have a complete scoreboard update for you. There's still games going on.
I'm still waiting for my updated new schedule now that my entire week has been rerouted.
I'm going to come up with some creative places to send you now.
They may not even have anything to do with basketball.
They may not.
I may be doing errands for the Shuckman family moving forward if we don't get some more wins.
Hey, but on that front, you need to go somewhere this week to wrangle up some highlights.
Oh, yes. That's why we've got the Jeep Wrangler.
So let's get to the best highlight wrangled this week, courtesy of the Highlight Wrangler and Little Jess Motor Company.
Indeed, the least surprising choice of the year.
No doubt, but we will get to that when we come back. So make sure you stick around. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Does the thought of retirement overwhelm you? You are not alone. For over 25 years, Benson Financial Group has helped people just like you craft a plan to retire with purpose. Call us today in Quincy and Hannibal.
Top 5 reasons you should choose
Blessing Raymond College.
Small classes, peer tutoring, and lots of personal attention.
Financial aid opportunities, including grants, scholarship, and loan forgiveness.
Successful outcomes, from pass rates to job placement.
Hands-on learning, clinical experience at multiple sites, and no wait list.
The Simulation Center.
Master clinical skills in this state-of-the-art facility.
Be ready for anything.
What are you waiting for?
Enroll with Blessing Raymond College today.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
Ready to retire on your terms? At Benson Financial Group, it's about more than money. It's about purpose. With over 25 years of experience, our team works together to craft a plan that fits your goals and values in Quincy and Hannibal.
Are you as excited as we are that football season is back? Then you need to make Jersey's your one-stop destination for mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, and all your local sporting events. So gather your crew and speed over to one of Jersey's 2 locations, 109 East Jefferson and Camp Point, or 115 East Main Street, Mount Sterling. Jersey's Bar and Grill, your hometown sports bar.
We love beer!
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. He's Chris Dewar. I'm Matt Shuckman. We are hanging out in downtown Quincy in the CDS Office Technology Studio. It's been a fun Monday evening. Great guests so far tonight. We had a good week of catching highlights and stories and a little bit of everything last week.
We certainly did, and it was a little bit of a different type of week. And coming off the shootout, I think it was a good week on a lot of fronts.
I'm anxious to get to some college baseball. I know we've had some teams play already. We'll have something here in town. This week, Quincy University plays its home opener. A week from now, we'll get a following weekend. John Wood will play its home opener. John Wood went 2-1 in its opening weekend. Abram Wewell, out of the gate, day one starter as a true freshman, and goes out and delivers.
What are they calling them? Hungry Wolves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
like that.
I like it a lot.
I like that. And we've got some local kids who've gone D1 out of the John Wood program that I think down the road maybe.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that we'll get a little Matt Shuckman love.
Maybe at the University of Arizona.
My God, he's good.
He is really good. When you see his name pop up, and we're talking about Tyler Bickers.
From Macomb.
When you see his name pop as one of the top second basemen in the Big 12 Conference. Not here's a list of 12 and he's in the 12. No, he's number 1. It's like, oh, wow.
And nobody recruited him out of high school.
Which is why he went to John Wood. And then did he go to Milwaukee first?
Yes.
Yeah, Milwaukee, and then transferred to Arizona. And now, who knows? We might be talking about him in the minor leagues.
Can you believe we've got him and Connor Ham at Arizona?
That's crazy, isn't it?
We produce some great kids around here. That's all I got to say about that.
Well, and we've got guys in Major League camps right now.
We do.
I saw some pictures of Riley Martin working out in Mesa, Arizona. He's on the 40-man roster for the Chicago Cubs.
I saw your guy Dason Crows today get some shouts out on social media as well.
Yep. So I'm excited about that. Really excited to see what happens there.
Pat Dewar texted me last week, needed to know what size River Cats hat you need. She did. She said so. I need to know what size hat Matt Schuckman needs.
Too big.
Well,
large, and then add 6 X's on top of that. My head's not as big as Don O'Brien's.
Nobody's head is as big as Don O'Brien's.
Honestly, I go back and forth. This is an 8.
Okay.
7 7/8, depending on how they're cut. So typically, I've been going with 8s for the most part, even if they're a little big.
Okay.
But 7 7/8, 8. I prefer fitted, and I've had that conversation with people. The snapback.
You're talking right to Pat Dewar right now. She's probably making notes as we speak.
But okay, you're not a hat guy.
I can't with the bald head. My head looks funny with them. I tried. I used to love hats when I had a little bit of hair.
Yeah.
My brother pulls it off, and he's got more hair than I do. Not by much anymore, but
so
I can't pull it off.
I actually had somebody ask me the other day about my collection of hats.
You've got a good collection.
And I do.
I've had more people comment about the hats that you wear in here than just about any. Oh, I like that hat Chuck was wearing. What was that he was wearing?
And I've got a few different ones, and I've been blessed that a few have come my way.
Well, and I like the Muddy River hats an awful lot that you had done.
Yep.
Kind of specific for this. You got a nice color range.
Well, I want to represent the company when I'm out and about, and especially when we're doing this show or Shuck on a Truck or something. And it's funny. I went back and looked at the very first Shuck on a Truck from 4.5 years ago. No ball cap.
No.
I didn't shave that day.
No.
I'm like, okay, at least we look a little. At least now we know it's the same all the time.
So the one hat I do wear.
Yes. The floppy hat?
The sexy safari hat, as it was called in Brown County, by my favorite Brown County Hornet of all time, or at least one of them. I shouldn't say it like that, but yes. Made the comment about the sexy safari hat. Even that hat doesn't look great. I wear it because I got to protect my bald head.
It would burn.
Yeah, it would burn. And then my wife would jump all over me. So skin cancer in the family. Can't do that.
No, I don't blame you.
But I hate hats.
Maybe we should get you a sexy safari Muddy River sports hat.
Now that is the first time all year that I walked down a sideline that somebody said something behind my back that made me literally double over and laugh. So
I love it.
Oh, Dewar's on sexy safari this week.
Well, you weren't on safari last week.
No.
But had you been quote unquote on safari, you would have bagged the big game of the week, because you did bag the best highlight of the week.
We've talked about it. We've alluded to it. We wrangled it up for you here. You've heard all about it. If you have not seen the Cooper Knowles end of regulation buzzer beater to force overtime, you're going to see it now, and you're going to see it about as good as you can get, because you're not going to see much like this.
Let's get to it. The best highlight wrangled this week, courtesy of Little Jess Motor Company. So there are two specific parts to that jump out at me.
Okay.
One, no one else catches that ball because nobody else goes up high enough to get it.
No, nobody on the planet.
But and again, that's where that ball needed to be thrown. So a fantastic pass. And again, I didn't realize until we just rewatched it that it was a two-handed pass. It wasn't a baseball pass.
Bert.
Yeah, Bert. Brayton Hurd.
Yes, with a beautiful pass there, yes. And your second observation?
And Jeff Dahl brought it up when we were talking to him earlier this hour. Cooper Knowles didn't dribble.
Nope.
He caught it, took a step, and laid it in. Now, granted, he's got the length to be able to do that. Anybody else catches that probably has to take at least one dribble.
We've had some 7-footers and some 6'10" kids, and we've had some great athletes. I don't think we've ever had a 6'10" kid that athletic in the history of our area.
I can't think of one.
No, I tried. The closest I could come up was Adam Wetzel, who went to play D1 at Purdue when he was a kid for a year. But even he wasn't that bouncy and athletic. I mean, Cooper is a different level.
The only one I can come close to, and he wasn't that bouncy and athletic in high school, one, because he was injured.
Yeah.
But was Evan McGaffey. He just wasn't quite, he was 6'7".
Well, yeah,
or
and
6'8" when he topped out.
He had such a wonky high school career with the injuries down the stretch. But yeah, I mean, he and Cooper do share the same kind of mindset, I think.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So
and that play reminds me of the play against Rockhurst when Evan was playing at Quincy University, where he threw the end zone pass to Joe Tagarelli to win the game.
Oh, I remember now that you bring that up. I do remember that.
And I still remember they still had the risers in the end zones there under the baskets at Pepsi Arena. And he went and he kind of had people sitting there kind of move a little bit so he could put his heels up against the riser so he could get a little bit so he could get back far enough. And that was a baseball pass. But if anybody had ever saw Evan McGaffey on the sideline of a QU football game, because he helped do the chain gang.
Yeah, he did.
And before the game, they'd throw the football around. He had the best arm of anybody.
Doesn't surprise me.
You know. And apparently he's quite a golfer now. Apparently he won his club championship in Cincinnati.
He was a good golfer in high school.
Well, he was.
Though.
He was a state medalist.
Yes.
But you know, yeah. He
a talented man.
And he loves to hunt. That's even makes it even better. So again, Cooper Knowles, best highlight wrangled up this week, courtesy of Little Jess Motor Company. And again, maybe the play of the year.
We may not top that. No, I walked away and you texted me like seconds after it happened. I looked at my phone and I couldn't answer because I couldn't figure out how quickly we were going to overtime. But Shuck is like Big Brother.
Well, I just happened to check social media. I was at QU.
Yeah.
They had a doubleheader on Saturday. I just happened to check social media. And there was somebody else that tweeted about it, and then you tweeted about it, and then I saw it, and I'm like, play of the year.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
You know.
And it was good to be in the house that John Hampton built.
It's a great gym.
Oh, it's a great gym.
Isn't it?
Little dingy is my only criticism of that gym, but great gym, great shootout. Got to hang out with Nesto Hoops, Aaron Britton a little bit.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it was a big Saturday.
I've had some when Coach Hampton was coaching at Riverton.
Yeah.
Got to spend some time over there, went over and visited him some and sat in some of their games over there. I've covered some games there involving some of the Quincy teams in the postseason and stuff. So covered volleyball postseason there.
Yeah. So I saw Macy Haas play there at a junior high school game.
Yeah.
Which is when we kind of knew Macy Haas was going to be Macy Haas.
And she's been Macy Haas, and I'm sure she's got a bundle of points tonight.
I'm sure she does.
With the way West Hancock's going. Hey, we need to take a break.
Okay.
When we come back, let's shuck them up.
Point dust.
So make sure you stick around. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
They greet us at the door, sit beside us on hard days, and somehow know when we need them most. They're not just pets, they're family. And when you love someone like family, you want the very best for them. That's why during Farm and Home's Love Your Pet sale, you'll find everything they need, from quality food and treats to toys, beds, and more. All at prices you'll love, because taking care of family should feel good. To see all the deals, go to farmandhomesupply.com.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary healthcare. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships? It's the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Meet us at the Scoreboard, 8th and York in Quincy.
The home of Quincy's best cheeseburger is now under new ownership. All our time-tested menu items, along with some great new additions, all cooked on our perfectly seasoned grill, are waiting for you.
New wings and new sauces.
Ice cold buckets at some of the best prices in town.
Or even in a frosted mug.
Corner bar comfort for your favorite game on 7 big screens. Or play your own game and win big.
The Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
Area Distributors is a provider of products and services in the restaurant environment, the school environment, the factory environment, the office environment, and in healthcare settings.
That's the value of Area Distributors, is that we help our customers out by providing them more product as one distributor.
I can tell you, if you call us and have a need, you're going to get timely response.
It's all about passion.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. The best highlight was pretty awesome, Chris Dewar.
We got very, very lucky this week.
The highlight wrangler lived up to its name.
It's been doing really well.
It has.
And we said it with Shane tonight, and he got a major upset. So
poor Shane, though, he has to drive a vehicle with our mugs on it.
I had my son in the car with me because we had driven over there,
Right.
and I had to explain to him that, you're going to get stared at, and we'll probably have to answer some questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is what it is.
It's a beautiful Jeep, though.
It is.
Other than the 2 heads on the side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I haven't driven it yet, but I don't really need to because I got the truck.
You have the truck.
So, and the shuck truck has been good
Yes,
because
it has.
we've had some good shuck on the trucks lately. We're going to put some miles on the shuck truck here in the next, but not a ton because I'm in town a lot.
You are, but this is also the time of year I know that you enjoy the most. And when you do travel, it's almost like a treat,
Yeah.
So we all get it.
Yeah. You go run, collect the highlights, and I put them online.
There you go.
So it works. Speaking of putting highlights online, our guy Shane Holsey got us one on Saturday.
Okay.
We've had some buzzer beaters.
We have.
We've had some, interesting shots. We haven't had a great moment on film from the Camp Point Central girls team.
Okay.
They won their regional opener on
Yes,
Saturday.
they did.
At the end of the third quarter, great ball movement led to a 3-pointer by Carly Deerwester.
Okay.
That instead of a 2-point lead, gave them a 5-point lead going into the fourth quarter.
Big.
And set the tone for them to win by 12. Now, obviously, their season ended tonight with the loss to Brown County. But they had a big moment on Saturday and a big win, a regional win, for a very young team. That's a team like we've talked about with some of these other young teams around here. That's a team that's going to build toward the future.
Yeah.
So, with that said, Carly Deerwester, she shucked them up, and it's our Shuck 'em Up big play of the week.
Shuck 'em up!
I had a chance to talk with Dakota Nyson at the Superfan Shootout. His team won a critical game there. And again, the second half of the year, we've seen a lot of improvements from the Camp Point Central girls basketball team.
And they were fighting through a lot to get there. And again, I thought, as we had talked about after the Superfan, I thought Central's comeback in the early morning was really a meaningful moment for that team.
Without a doubt. And it's a team that at that point didn't have Lexi Niekamp back.
No.
She did play last week. I don't know if she played tonight, but I know she played last week in her return from knee injury. And it was good to see her back. Good to see she's another one of those young pieces that's the future of that Camp Point Central team. And those seniors have done a really good job of helping guide that group and show those young kids the way.
Yeah, and that is, she ranks with any of the really good underclassmen in our area at full health. So we need her back for the state of Illinois girls basketball period.
And we have a lot of good young talent.
We do,
and we're seeing some of that here in the early stages of the postseason. Have you gotten an update on West Hancock? I know it was 35.
I have not. My phone just died.
Well.
Yes. So I didn't get to hear from my boy Joel, who updates me very, very well. Shout out to Joel Cochran out there for the
Joel, you're awesome.
Yeah, for all the updates, we do appreciate. But no, my phone finally died.
Well, it's okay because we'll get a full update here soon enough.
We shall.
But again, it's been an interesting opening night. I say opening night. We had games on Saturday, but today's the true, real opening night of the postseason. Regional semifinals, Class 1A through Class 4A. We got some more tomorrow night.
We do.
And then we actually got a lot going on tomorrow night for the fact that we're into postseason because we got the QND game against West Hancock in Warsaw.
Which I think will be top of mind for all basketball fans, not just here, but I think around the state.
Moline boys come to Quincy. Sean Taylor brings to the Maroons back to Blue Devil Gym. If the Blue Devils lose tomorrow night, and again, they only scored 17 points against Moline at Wharton Fieldhouse, it will be the 20th loss of the regular season for the Blue Devils. First time in school history.
That's it's a tough spot.
It is. It is. And so they will open postseason play next week. They get the Jinx. They get Edwardsville. Now Edwardsville's the number one team in the subsectional.
Little different dynamic than the girls were facing.
But the same sort of scenario. And again, so now we've got regional championship games on Thursday night.
And no regional championship on Friday. Just realizing that now, it's just kind of
we had one game scheduled for there on Friday night. Quincy High girls lost tonight to Edwardsville 50-49, so we can take that one off the schedule. We do have a big game at the Pit on Friday night. Keokuk taking on Quincy Notre Dame boys. Jackson Clark, the 7-foot leading scorer in the state of in Iowa in Class 3A.
Yes.
Notre Dame's got to try to find a way to stop him.
And he has played well traditionally at the Pit.
Well, and here's the thing. I think people see 31 points a game and think, well, who's he playing against? He's had good games against good opponents, not just feasting on the lesser teams on Keokuk's schedule. He's played well throughout.
He has, and he just became Keokuk's all-time scoring leader.
There you go.
He also grabbed, I think, his 1,000th rebound on Friday night as well in a 10-point win over Fort Madison, which essentially gives them the conference title outright.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't probably talk enough about because
probably
everybody's fixated on that game tomorrow night.
Yeah.
That's a big game for the Raiders.
Well, we were going to have Anthony Potratz on the show. It just didn't work out. His wife was battling some things, and his attention had to be focused on her last Monday night, and didn't get a chance to touch base with him this week. But he's done a great job in his first year.
He really has. He really has, and they're more than just the Jackson Clark show.
Yes, they are.
So kudos to him for the job that he's done, and they're a fun team to watch. And if you haven't seen Chase Smith dunk a basketball yet, you'll probably get that chance against Quincy Notre Dame. He's a high flyer.
I want to see Chase Smith and then Robbie Reed and Gavin Dolman have a dunk off.
Well, I think it's going to be really interesting. Yeah, that would be super fun. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see who Robbie Reed draws in that game.
Does he draw Chase Smith?
He may.
Does he draw Jalen Clark?
He may.
Again, do they put him on Jackson and say, harass him?
Well, and they may do that.
I don't know.
Here's the thing. Jackson is just as comfortable operating above the arc as he is down low.
See, so it's going to be, the matchups are going to be incredibly interesting.
I would agree.
So
and what a fun way to kind of carry us into the postseason.
Again, that's the capper of the regular season.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that we get a great game to end the regular season on. We get a great game tomorrow night as the prelude to that.
We do.
As Quincy Notre Dame takes on West Hancock in Warsaw. And again, get there early. JV game at 6. If you want to get a seat, you might want to get there at 4.
Parking is never easy in that parking
lot.
No,
it is not.
So you plan on walking if you don't get there early.
Right. So, but again, I think it's going to be electric atmosphere.
Oh, it is. And again,
and the way it should be.
As we talked about with Jeff Dahl last time Jace Allensworth was there, maybe the best shooting night we've seen from that young man.
So a lot to look forward to there. I'm going to be out the Pit tomorrow night. Quincy Notre Dame begins its postseason in Class 3A for the girls.
I don't know that I could endure another upset. So we need all of a sudden our girls teams feel like endangered species. We need you to bring home non-upsets from here on out.
And again, Thursday night we got a full slate of regional championships. I'm anxious to see what Mendon Unity girls do against Havana tonight. I haven't seen an update from anyone. But that's an intriguing one to see if they could potentially get.
Well, Havana has been all over the place. Remember, that's a team that ended up losing to Illini West.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know how good Michelle's team is or isn't, but we will find out pretty quickly.
Anything's possible at this stage. So let's see if we can get, do we have any updates? I'm take a quick look. No update there yet. So, but yeah, so we're really looking forward to what this week brings. We got a lot of Missouri games this week. A lot of Clarence Cannon Conference games to wrap things up.
Yes, we'll get the conference sorted out.
Yep.
Centralia took some big steps towards sorting that conference out last Friday night with Monroe City. Wins over both Monroe City boys and girls.
So, yeah, I think we thought Centralia girls were going to win it.
Yeah.
Highland was the one team we thought would give them and they gave them a hell of a game.
Yeah.
So
they did.
Yep.
Fortunately, South Shelby had kind of tipped Highland out of that mix.
So, again, a lot to look forward to. What's pinging on your radar as the biggest thing you're looking forward to over the next week and a half?
Well, it's changed during the course of this conversation because I was going to tell you I thought Liberty was set up for a nice run.
I think
the Liberty girls.
Well, you and I were both looking at the potential of Liberty Brown County meeting for a sectional championship here next week.
Yeah.
That's out of the picture now. West Prairie took care of that.
Well, and yes. And so my gut level instincts do not feel very true at this particular moment in time. Again, I think people have to have eyes on Quincy Notre Dame, West Hancock boys tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think, Thursday will be very illuminating, and then we'll figure out the sectional draw from there.
I'll be real curious to see who's still alive after Thursday. Does anybody else get upset? Does a team that pulled an upset at Macomb pull off another one? Because they'll go into that game as a lower seeded team, more than likely. I haven't seen who won the second semifinal there in Farmington. But I'm going to take a look right now while we're talking. That'll either be Petersburg, Porta, or Canton. So they're going to be the lower seed no matter what.
Right.
So because Porta was the 3, Canton was the 6, Macomb was the 7.
Yeah.
So they're going to be the lowest seeded team left in that regional. Could they pull off another? I mean, they didn't just beat Chillicothe IVC. They smacked them.
Yeah, they did.
55-33.
That's a really good statement.
Yeah. So I'll be real curious to see what happens there.
I think Thursday will be really interesting at Bluffs.
Yes.
This is if we get what we think we're going to get.
And those semifinals are tomorrow night. Winchester West Central trying to get to the championship game of its own regional.
And likely playing Triopia if they do.
Yep. So, again, some really intriguing and some really interesting scores. I just saw this one pop up. Pleasant Plains beat Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin 57-11.
Oh my.
Now Plains is really good.
Yeah, I realize they're really good and they have destroyed all comers this season.
Yes.
But that is a beatdown of epic proportions.
And if you're looking at where teams might hit head-to-head, if West Hancock can continue to win, they would meet Plains in a super sectional at Plains.
Yeah, it's not a really good setup.
No, and that goes back to my point of where you're putting your super sectionals. That's not good. But it is what it is. The IHSA is not going to change that.
No, they're not.
But I'm still going to complain about it.
As you should.
So that's the grumpy old man in me.
I get it.
So, again, thanks to our guest tonight. Thanks for Ben Mark coming into the studio and hanging out with us.
That was fun. We need to do that more often.
I agree. Jeff Dahl joining us on the Hess Auto Agency Hotline. Great conversation with him as always. Again, it's amazing to think that it was almost 30 years ago that Warsaw won a state title.
It is, and I still remember leaving my camera there after they won the title and going to go get a microphone, and Jeff Dahl saying that he had shot some special footage for me from the locker room. It was a joke.
Yeah.
But yes, I do remember that.
He did a Tom Lepper?
Yes, he did a Tom Lepper.
I used to take my tape recorders and my camera.
Things you can't repeat here.
Yes. So, again, great stuff. We appreciate all of you guys with us every Monday night. One more show. We'll wrap up our season of Monday Night Lights next Monday night. We'll give you the intel on what's going on that week with the girls.
We'll have Iowa postseason underway at that point as well.
We'll have Missouri postseason games going on Monday night. The Illinois boys, we've got games Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week are for the regionals. So, we'll have plenty to talk about.
We will not lack for that. Kind of like that they keep things on Monday. I'm not a big fan of these Saturday play-in games that they did in Illinois girls.
So Monday, Wednesday, Friday for boys next week, Tuesday, Thursday for girls. Missouri is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday,
Right.
depending on how those schedules turn out. But that's how those go. So we'll give you complete coverage of that. We'll have our scoreboards and everything updated. Illinois girls will be updated when you get up in the morning. And then we'll also have the boys and the Missouri districts, all those coming this weekend. So you'll be able to follow along.
Classroom champions for you, dropping on Wednesday with the great Bailey Christ from Highland. Phenomenal catcher and outstanding hitter. We'll talk about her future.
Okay.
She's scheduled like 17 different college signings, and every single time the weather has turned and canceled them to this point. So we've decided.
Get up.
We've decided on our own that we're going to talk about her college decision in a manner that can't be canceled.
There you go.
So
look forward to that. Thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks to our sponsors. We'll see you back here next Monday night for our last show of the year. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.